Sephora is not a scam, and it is not a treasure chest either. The truth that actually saves you money sits in the awkward middle. Most of what is on those glowing shelves is overpriced for what it does, and a small slice of it is genuinely worth every dollar. So I am going to do this in two clean halves. First, the 10 things you should skip, the overpriced traps, and for each one, the cheaper product that does the exact same job so you stop paying for pretty boxes. Then, the 10 things actually worth buying, the small handful where the price buys you something real. Skips first, because knowing what to walk past is what protects your wallet, and the buys will mean a lot more once you have seen what they are competing against. Roughly 90% of that store is the skip list in spirit, and about 10% is the buy list. And once you can tell them apart on site, you will never overpay in there again. Here is the one rule underneath all 20 verdicts, the rule the dermatologists actually use. A prestige product is worth it only when the price buys one of three real things: a better formulated active, a gentleness cheaper versions cannot match, or a cosmetic elegance, the feel and finish, that makes you actually use it every day. Anything else, fancy packaging, fragrance, an exotic-sounding botanical waved around as the secret, is theater, and theater is what you skip. Hold that rule and let us start with the 10 to skip. Skip number 1, the Luxury Miracle Anti-Aging Cream, the sea kelp jars, and Celebrity Scientist creams running $200 and $300. They are well-made moisturizers, nothing more, and you are paying a fortune for a hydrating, barrier-supporting job. A $15 ceramide cream does just as well. Buy a drugstore ceramide moisturizer instead, and keep the other $280. The clearest tell is the marketing. When a cream's whole story is a romantic origin legend or a famous founder, and not a single proven active you can name, the price is paying for the legend, and your skin does not respond to legends. Skip number 2, the Daily Luxury Eye Cream. A huge number of them are simply moisturizer in a tiny jar with the word eye on it, sold at several times the price per ounce. The skin around your eye is not asking for a separate fortune. Just gently pat your regular moisturizer around the eye and use the retinoid and sunscreen you already own there too. The only eye product genuinely worth a separate purchase is on the buy list, and it is a tool, not a daily cream. Skip number 3, the expensive niacinamide serum. Niacinamide is wonderful. It regulates oil, calms redness, and fades marks, but it is one of the cheapest effective ingredients in all of skincare. Paying $30 or $40 for it is a luxury tax on a discount molecule. Grab a few dollar niacinamide instead, which I will point you to in the buy half, because the cheap one is genuinely worth owning. You are paying purely for a nicer bottle and a louder name, wrapped around an ingredient that costs the brand almost nothing. Skip number 4, the expensive Prestige Hyaluronic Acid Serum. Hyaluronic acid is a simple humectant that draws water into the skin, and the $80 bottle contains the exact same molecule as the $10 one. There is no premium version of water-attracting sugar. Skip the fancy bottle entirely. The cheap, honest one is on my buy list, and it is the same thing for a fraction. The one thing to get right is the technique. Press it onto damp skin and seal it, or in very dry air, it can pull water out of your skin instead of into it. Skip number 5, charcoal masks, detox masks, and pore strips. The word detox in skincare is marketing, not science. Your skin does not store toxins a mask can pull out. Charcoal is at best a weak oil absorber, peel-offs and strips tear at your barrier, and they look far more dramatic than they work. If you want a mask, a plain cheap clay mask does the real oil-absorbing job once or twice a week. Treat any mask as an occasional boost, never a daily essential, because no mask is one. Skip number 6, the collagen cream. This one is sold on a promise that is biologically impossible because the collagen molecule is far too large to penetrate your skin. It just sits on the surface. So you are paying a premium for an ingredient that never reaches where it claims to work. What actually rebuilds your collagen is a retinoid, vitamin C, and sunscreen, all cheaper and all on the buy list. Topical collagen is, at absolute best, a decent surface moisturizer wearing an impossible promise on the front of the jar. Skip number 7, The exotic ingredient luxury, the gold, the diamond dust, the caviar, the rare extracts with unpronounceable names. There is no evidence any of these outperform ordinary proven actives. They are chosen precisely because they sound precious and justify the price. The rarity is the marketing. Skip the romance and buy the boring, cheap actives that genuinely change skin. You assume the rare, costly ingredient must be powerful, when the truly powerful ones are dirt cheap and the expensive ones are mostly there to make the number on the box feel earned. Skip number 8, the $50 luxury cleanser. A cleanser is on your face for 30 seconds and then rinsed straight down the drain, so it is the single worst place to spend big money. All it needs to do is clean gently without stripping. A simple, affordable, gentle cleanser does that perfectly, and I will name the kind to buy in the second half. Spending big on a cleanser is like buying a designer dish sponge. It is gone in seconds and the expensive version cleaned no better than the cheap one. Skip number 9, the over-the-counter lash growth serum. These are sold as a harmless beauty treat, but many rely on the same family of compounds as the prescription versions and can carry real side effects, including permanent darkening of the eyelid skin and a hollowed look around the eye over time. The risk and the price are not worth it. If lash growth genuinely matters to you, that is a conversation for a dermatologist, not a Sephora shelf. A few dollars saved and a real risk avoided, all in one skip. Skip number 10, the luxury overnight sleeping mask. When you read the label, most of these are simply an occlusive moisturizer, a product that seals water into the skin overnight, sold in a beautiful pot at a beautiful price. A few cents of plain petroleum jelly or a cheap night cream does the identical sealing job. Skip the pot, seal your skin for pennies, and sleep just as pretty. The beautiful pot was the product. The formula inside was almost beside the point. Now the half you have been waiting for, the 10 things genuinely worth buying, the small slice where the money actually buys you something real. Buy number 1, a cosmetically elegant sunscreen. This is the splurge I defend without flinching. Sunscreen is the single most powerful anti-aging product there is, preventing the majority of wrinkles and spots before they form. And the number one reason people skip it daily is that they hate how it feels. So a weightless, invisible, pleasant Sephora sunscreen that you actually wear every day beats a cheap one you avoid. That is the elegance rule in its purest form. The only caveat, a cheap sunscreen protects exactly as well if you can stand the feel. So buy this for the texture, not for better protection. So the test is personal. If you already wear your cheap sunscreen happily every day, save the money. If you keep skipping it because it feels awful, this single splurge genuinely buys you better skin by changing your behavior. Buy number 2, a carefully chosen vitamin C serum. Vitamin C genuinely brightens, fades dark spots, and defends against daily damage, worn under your morning sunscreen. It earns a buy, but a conditional one, because vitamin C is famously unstable and oxidizes into useless brown liquid within weeks if mistreated. So buy one in an opaque, airtight bottle, in a size you will finish quickly, store it away from light and heat, and toss it the moment it turns brown. Treat it like food, fresh and perishable, and it is worth every dollar. A vitamin C you let oxidize on a sunny shelf was money set on fire, no matter what you paid for it. Buy number 3, the affordable, honest hyaluronic acid serum. Sephora does carry genuinely cheap, genuinely good actives if you look past the glossy end caps, and a plain $10 hyaluronic serum is the perfect example. Press it onto slightly damp skin and seal it with a moisturizer on top, and it plumps and hydrates exactly like the $80 version. Buy the cheap one with pride. It is the same molecule the expensive bottle is charging 8 times more for. This is me proving I am not just here to trash the store. The honest, cheap option really is sitting right there. Buy number 4, a well-dosed chemical exfoliant. Exfoliating acids genuinely transform skin, smoothing texture, brightening dullness, and clearing pores, and here dose and formulation truly matter, so a well-made one from a serious brand is worth having over something harsh and improvised. Buy a beta-hydroxy acid if your skin is oily and congested, a gentler lactic acid if it is dry or dull, and then use it only 3 or 4 times a week because over-exfoliating wrecks your barrier and ages you faster. More is not better with acids. The people with the worst, reddest, most overtreated skin are almost always the ones using them every single day. Buy number 5, a hypochlorous acid spray. This is the surprising one dermatologists have quietly embraced. It is a gentle antiseptic mist that calms and refreshes, perfect for a spritz after a sweaty workout, a calming mist for breakout-prone or irritated skin, and a refresh when traveling. It is gentle enough for the most reactive skin, it does not clash with your other actives, and it does a genuinely useful job nothing else in your routine does, which is exactly what earns a spot on the shelf. It is one of the few genuinely additive things you can introduce without overloading or irritating your routine. Buy number 6, a gentle encapsulated retinol serum. Retinoids are the most proven anti-aging ingredient there is. And while cheap, over-the-counter retinol and prescription options exist, this is a category where a better Sephora formulation can genuinely be worth it, because a well-made encapsulated retinol is often gentler and more effective, which matters enormously if harsher retinoids have always irritated your skin. Tolerability is one of the 3 real reasons to pay more, and for sensitive skin, this is it. Start slow, a couple of nights a week, and always pair it with sunscreen. If you have tried retinol before and quit because your skin flaked and burned, a gentle encapsulated version is very often the thing that finally lets you actually use the most proven anti-ager there is. Buy number 7, a barrier repair moisturizer built around real lipids, ceramides, fatty acids, and humectants together. The mid-price ones beauty editors love are genuinely well formulated. Now, a $15 drugstore ceramide cream does the same core job, so this is a buy only on the elegance rule, when the lighter, lovelier texture is the thing that makes you actually use it every single day. Buy it for the feel that earns your consistency. If texture does not sway you, the cheap one matches it and you can skip up to here. Pay for the texture that earns your daily use, never for the belief that a higher price means a richer result, because on barrier repair, the drugstore caught up long ago. Buy number 8, a depuffing eye patch or treatment with caffeine and peptides. This is the one eye area product worth buying, and the reason it earns a yes where the daily eye cream earned a skip is that it is a tool for a specific job, not a daily routine you overpay for. Caffeine genuinely does temporarily shrink puffiness, so a pack of these for the mornings after a sleepless night or before an event is a smart, targeted buy. Use them as the quick fix they are. Just do not mistake the temporary depuffing for a permanent change. Nothing in a patch reverses aging, it simply makes a tired morning look rested. Buy number 9, an affordable, honest niacinamide. Remember I told you to skip the expensive niacinamide? This is its replacement, and it absolutely earns a buy because niacinamide is one of the genuinely useful actives and the cheap version is no worse than the prestige one. A few dollars gets you oil regulation, calmer redness, and fading marks. This is the buy that proves the point of the whole video, the same ingredient, the honest price, sitting right there if you know to reach for it. The prestige version and the few dollar version do the same work. Only one of them also funds a marketing department. Buy number 10, a simple, gentle, affordable cleanser. Just as I told you to skip the $50 cleanser, I am telling you to actually buy a cheap, gentle, non-stripping one, because cleansing is the foundation of every routine, and the most common mistake is using a harsh cleanser that leaves skin tight and squeaky and wrecks the barrier. A gentle, affordable cleanser that cleans without stripping is one of the most valuable few dollars you will spend, precisely because it does its job and gets out of the way. A calm, properly cleansed, unstripped face is the foundation everything else on the buy list is building on. So look at the shape of those two lists, because the pattern is the real lesson. Everything in the skip half was a case of paying for packaging, prestige, fragrance, a marketing word, or an impossible promise. Everything in the buy half was a case of the money buying a real active, real gentleness, or a texture that gets you to actually use the product. Notice too that several of the buys were not expensive at all. The cheap hyaluronic, the cheap niacinamide, the gentle cleanser, because worth it was never about being expensive. It was about being right. The buys and the skips came from the exact same rule, which means you now own the tool to judge any product in that store, including ones launched next year that I have never heard of, in about 5 seconds. One trap to watch on your way through, because it catches even careful shoppers: the brand new viral launch. When a product is suddenly everywhere, with sold-out signs and 100 reviews in the same week, that tells you the marketing budget was enormous and nothing about whether it works. The buys on my list earned their place over years, not in a viral week. So when something explodes overnight, simply wait. Let other people be the test subjects and check back in 6 months to see whether anyone is still using it or whether it quietly vanished. Your money is not a beta test for a marketing campaign. A couple of practical moves to stretch your money further. Sephora runs big store-wide savings events a few times a year, and that is the moment to buy the things from the buy list: the sunscreen, the exfoliant, the vitamin C, because a worth-it product at a discount is a genuine win, while a pointless product at a discount is still pointless. Use the samples before committing to anything you are buying for its texture, since the feel is the one thing a label cannot tell you. And lean on the generous return policy to test whether something actually agrees with your skin instead of gambling $40 on a guess. Here is the honest heart of all of it. The trouble with Sephora was never that nothing works. Plenty of it works beautifully. The trouble is that the genuinely worth it products and the wildly overpriced ones sit on the same shelves, under the same flattering lights, with the same confident marketing, and the store has no reason to tell you which is which. So you were left assuming price equals quality, and that assumption is what empties your wallet. Replace it with one question: what is this price actually buying me? A real ingredient, real gentleness, real elegance, or just a story? And the whole store sorts itself in your mind into the slice worth your money and the rest worth your knowing better. So next time you're standing in there, a little dazzled, run the two lists. Walk straight past the miracle creams, the repackaged eye creams, the luxury tax niacinamide, the detox theater, the collagen cream, the exotic ingredient romance, the $50 cleanser, the risky lash serum, and the overpriced sleeping mask. Then reach for the sunscreen you will actually wear, the carefully chosen vitamin C, the cheap honest actives, the well-made exfoliant, the genuinely useful spray, the gentle retinol, and the few worth-it elegant upgrades. Tell me which product you have personally bought and regretted, or bought and genuinely loved, because the comments on these always become the most useful buy or skip guide of all. Shop the short list, skip the long one, and you will walk out with better skin and a fuller bank account than the person who walked in dazzled and bought the whole glowing shelf on faith.